So I went to Typo and I picked up a ton of notebooks and planners and other cool things like really expensive pens. So let's check it out and see what Typo means when they say fun and affordable. Hi everyone, I'm Lisa from Pretty Fabulous, and I help online businesses create beautiful digital downloads using Adobe InDesign. So if this sounds like you or something you might be interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. I post new videos every Monday and Thursday, and I do unboxings on Saturday. Now today we have a haul of Typo products, and I'll tell you exactly how much I spent. I spent $127.05 on everything that you're gonna see. So what did I get for that? I got planners. I have two planners. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 notebooks. Some of them are like hybrids. We'll look inside. I'll put these underneath like close up so you can see them. And I also got 4 pens. I know what you're thinking, the pens must have been cheap. They are actually not. Each of the pens were either $7.99 or $9.99. I mean, they're really cute. First up are the pens. I got 4, and these were all, like I said, in my color. This one has sparkles inside of a gel sort of medium, so they kind of move around. This was $7.99, and this one over here is just all kind of a coppery rose gold color with the Typo logo. That was $7.99 as well. Now these were the $9.99 ones, and I think that's because they just look a little simpler and they're thinner. And anytime you have something that's thinner, even when it comes to calligraphy, it's usually more expensive than the thicker ones. Now, I know you're wondering, how does this write? These are a very plain ballpoint pen. There's nothing special about this particular pen or how it writes or how it feels. You know, it's a little nicer than a Bic pen, but otherwise it's pretty much the same thing. So let's go ahead and look at the planners, and we're going to start with one of the most expensive ones. Now this one was $29.99, and I think that's because it's more like a folio. And inside here you have a little pocket holder and then 3 slits to hold credit cards. This matches the front of that folio, and over here it hooks into the back. So in theory you could just keep reusing this folio and just replace this part, or even swap it out right now if you want. And this is held in, it feels like, by a magnet. Now when you go in here, it's kind of a standard planner. You have your annual, you have contact information, and then you have a monthly, and then you have horizontal weeklies. Now, the only thing that's interesting over here is Saturday and Sunday are together. This is pretty much a common problem with all planners, but you start with Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and they have the numbers. So you do this rinse and repeat all the way until you get to the very, very back. Does the same thing, and then you have about 6 pages of notes. So the same problem you run into anything. It doesn't really lay flat. But I will say, because this is not a firm sort of cover, I don't know if you guys can see this. This is basically some of the tiny little saddle stitch notebooks, and they're all held together by this piece of tape. So because of that, it does seem to lay flatter than some of the other spines that I've seen that aren't spiral. And it has 1 ribbon for bookmarks. So let's check out the next one. And this one too was $29.99. Now this one came in a box, so it had a little bit more of a presentation, if you will. It's called the Premium Activity Journal, and it includes a pen. So we know their pens are pretty pricey, so that is actually a big help. I know it looks a little worn. This is actually how it showed up, so I think that's just how their shipping facility is. So if you're trying to give these as a gift, just know it's going to look used. This is black. Now, I don't really like when people have curse words, so if that's kind of your thing, they had a ton of things that had the S word, the F word, if that's, you know, your style. Now, this pen just kind of slips out, and again, it's the standard ballpoint pen. It has a little plastic cover on there, a little protective cover, and the back is plain. So it feels, again, like a pleather planner. Let's move this box out of the way. And when you go inside of here, this is the bucket list of, it's all black. And what I kind of really like that was different about this is that it has sidestep notebook tabs. I don't know if you've ever seen these, but this whole front section here, the pages have been cut in so that you can easily see where the next tab is without having dividers, I guess I should say. The whole thing is one big divider. So this says travel goals, adventures, calling, and it says photos, drawings, more info. So it's more like a scrapbook. Over here on the left, it says what I did, when I did it, who I was with, the juicy details, and the same thing, just rinse and repeat all throughout. Now, the nice thing too is you can kind of put your own labels over here on the side. You will need a white pen. So if you don't have one of those, this is my favorite, in case you guys are wondering. It's the Molotow. It's the One for All acrylic. It pretty much works on everything. Paper, I've used it on mirrors, I've used it on wood, so it's very versatile, but I will say it does not last very long. So if you purchase this and you're not going to use it for a couple months, it's highly likely it may just dry out. Or at least that's been my experience with them. So work goals, smashing it. So same thing, rinse and repeat, ask the same questions, has the same layout. The only thing that's changing is this section, personal goals. Let's do this. And then the last section that says random goals, the fun stuff. And once you get to the very back, you're done. So that's that. The next one is $16.99, and this just had a lot of sparkly bling to it. Now this is tiny. I don't know if you can see that next to my hand. It's really, really small. So this is the A6, and it is going to be for someone who has a small purse. So this is a daily layout. I can barely talk. And if you can see here, it's in focus. It has a ton of information for your personal, and it has a vertical, I always say this is like an Australia thing. I've never seen anybody else do this, but it has a vertical layout for the calendar. So that's kind of interesting. And then you get 2018, 19, and 20. And then over here we have, again, contact information, random dates to celebrate, and I think it says random dates, and if you can see this, because if you're making these planners for so many different countries, you have so many different holidays, and different countries celebrate different things, so I think that's why it says that. Traits of the zodiac, traits of a Scorpio, traits of a Taurus, so if you're really into astrology, this is your planner. Random challenges over here. I don't know if you can see this. I can barely see it. But the first one says, go an entire day without checking social media. Date completed. Help out a neighborhood charity. So it has a bunch of things that it's going to suggest for you to do. You have your 2018 and 19 bucket list, and then we go into this rinse and repeat cycle of a daily layout. So this was interesting. It does start on June 28th. So this did say it is a mid-year planner. It is already September, so just make sure to check when you go to purchase this. It does a rinse and repeat. There's no more layouts other than the daily, and if you can see, it does go from 7 a.m. all the way to 6 p.m. and it has a little elastic strap on it. So I know you can't feel this, but the elastic strap is kind of weak, so I don't know, maybe that's just how their elastic straps come. So let's look at some fun ones that I got just because I am writing. I don't know if you guys have been following me on my romance channel, but I have the Snow and Her Seven Seals romance series. So I'm always buying Snow White stuff. So if you really like these will actually be part of a giveaway for when the second book for Snow comes out. But when you realize you're the fairest of them all, and there is a picture of Snow White. Now this has a file, like little pocket folders for obviously tiny little pieces of paper, and then it's just a standard notebook. So nothing special. It is perforated. It does have the Typo logo at the bottom of each page. And then at the back, I'm not really a fan. So this was $4.99. I put a little sticky there to give myself a note. I'm not a fan of this, but it must be just a cheaper, or I shouldn't say cheaper, more affordable and easier design to put these little grommet holes in here and then attach the elastic strap over here. So I would think it will just be a little more difficult when you're writing, which it is, because you have, it's bumpy, right, on the side. It's never ever going to lay flat. So that would be an issue. I guess you could put the whole thing over here. But that's not very convenient. So I understand what they were trying to do. The elastic strap is nice, but because of that, it is hard to write on. This one was $6.99, and this is really for school. So these were, it's the fairest of them all, another Snow White, and this one has a little bit more information because it's asking you the date, and it has a bit of a different color. So this is more of a dark gray. I don't know if you can tell the difference, and this is more of a light gray. Now this is college ruled, and this is wide ruled. Now this one, I'm saying it's for school because it has file folder holders separating each of the different sections. So you get 1, 2, 3 of those, and then you get to the back page. Now the last one that I got is the 7 Dwarfs. And this one I thought was just really cute. It says college ruled here, and what your number one dwarf says about you. This one was $6.99, and it has all these cute little things for each of the dwarfs. So let's say I was happy. It's total optimist, infectious attitude, radiates positive vibes, joyful, and jolly. So that was kind of cute. So inside you are going to get 1 file folder, and then you have, just like it says, college ruled paper. Now this is green, so they've added some variety there, and it says Typo in green at the bottom. So they've added their logo to everything. Now again, we ran into this grommet thing. So really, to me, probably the best notebook is this one that doesn't have the grommet elastic strap, because I think it's just hard to write. Or maybe I'm just being a baby. Either way, but same thing. So this elastic strap isn't that tight. I don't know why. I feel better when my elastic strap is like really tight. It helps me to feel more secure. Maybe that's because I put my hair up all the time in hair ties. I'm not really sure, because when they get loose, I just throw them out. So did you like it? Did you love it? Were you like, meh? I actually loved it. I loved it for 5 different reasons. First, I just love the fact that there is a planner, stationery, dedicated store out there. So even though I complained in the other video that the other ones were expensive, it doesn't matter. I still love them. I like that they exist. The second thing is I really loved all the variety. And remember, because they're making it fun and affordable, they are able to order things in, I'm sure, massive bulks. I talked about this before. So the downside is nothing's really personable, so you can't get your initials on something or like custom order a cover, but they have so many different things to choose from. It's really not that kind of a store, and you're going to definitely find things that you like. The third thing that I really like about it is the reward system. So when I first signed up on their app, and you could go and do this right now, I'll leave a link for that below, you get $10 right away, right off the bat, just for joining. And then I got another $10 because I spent over $100. Now, I have 20 extra dollars, even though I spent 130. So in theory, I'm just going to tell myself I only spent 110. I know it doesn't really work like that, but it just makes me feel better. And I bet if you sign up for their reward system and you get the same thing, it will make you feel better as well. So number 4 is I also think they have a ton of great sales going on. So even though everything was priced, I think pretty affordably, like they said, they actually have sales running on. They had notebooks, they were 3 for $10. Obviously school just started, so they probably are, I would imagine they have a backload of school style notebooks, as well as the pens. And when I bought the pens, they were full price, but she did say these are no longer on sale for $5 each. So they must have just finished up a huge sale, which really means that you should probably never pay full price for anything at Typo. You can wait, just keep watching for things that you want, and it sounds like eventually it will go on sale. And 5th, and most importantly, is I like their styles. They're very feminine. You know, obviously pink Snow White is super feminine with rose gold metallic or gold metallic. It doesn't really try, I don't think, to appeal to men. There is nothing really masculine. They don't really advertise themselves as a feminine or women only store, but let's face it, the majority of people buying notebooks and planners are women, and you could just tell from the colors and all the things in the wall art, it was meant for women. Just kind of like Paper Source or any of the other card stationery stores, pretty much just meant for women. Anyways, let me just recap really quick. I spent $127.05, but I got a ton of different notebooks and pens and planners. And I also like Typo for 5 very good reasons. 1, they're a planner store, so check, I automatically like them. 2, they have a ton of variety. 3, they have an amazing reward system. 4, they have tons of great sales. And 5, they have lots of feminine style, which is really what I like. I don't really go into the masculine, chunky, blocky things, which is great. I'm not knocking those. But just personally, if I'm going to spend $127, it's going to be on stuff that I like. So if you have a Typo store in your town, let me know if it kind of looks the same or if it was different, bigger, smaller. And if you don't have a Typo store in your town, do not worry. You can order things even no matter what country you're in, because they're pretty much everywhere, but in the US even, and they will ship it to you and it won't really cost you much more. All right, I hope everyone is having an amazing day and has beautiful stationery or planner or notebook in front of them. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.